Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. النهارده هناخد today we are going to study equation of lines. Many cases you are relating some variables together. This relation is a line. So we have to know how to the relation or all the properties of the lines. We have the Cartesian plane, which is in two dimensions, x and y. X is the horizontal axis and y is the vertical axis. These two axes divide the plane into four quadrants. The first quadrant where x and y are positive. Second quadrant, x is negative and y is positive. The third, both values are negative. And fourth quadrant, x is positive and y is negative. This is the Cartesian plane is known also as the xy plane, xy plane. The x-axis where y equals any point on the x-axis, y value is 0, and any point on the y-axis, x value is 0. Any ordered pair, which is x and y, where x is the x coordinate and y is the y coordinate. The origin O is the point 0, 0. The point O, 0, 0, which is, this is the point O origin. And any point in the xy plane is defined by its x coordinate and y coordinate, which is x and y. Next. Yeah. For example, these points, negative 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 2 and 0, negative 4 and negative 2, 0, negative 3, 5 and negative 4 are shown in the Cartesian plane. The first point, negative 3 and 4, we move in the negative direction of x, negative 3, and we move to plus 4 in the positive y. This is the point, negative 3 and 4. The second point, 3 and 4, we move on the x-axis, 3 plus 3, and plus 4, we get 3 and 4 points. The third one, 2 and 0. 2, you move 2 units in the positive x direction, and 0 point in 0 distance from a 4 in the y direction. So this is the point 2 and 0. The third one, or the fourth one, negative 4 and negative 2, negative 4 and negative 2, which is this point. The next point, 0 and 3, you don't move on the x-axis because x is 0, and you move on the y-axis, negative 3, which is this point. The last point, 5, negative 4, you move on the x-axis 5 units, and on the y-axis, negative 4 units. The line between A and B, which is A, negative 2 and 1, B, 2 and 3, and the Cartesian plane, you connect the two lines to the 2 points A and B. So you got a line between A and B. Can you determine whether the point C, 0 and 2 lies on the line, this line or not? Find two other points on the line. See a figure. You move on the x-axis 0 unit and 2, so you get this point which is on the line. Any other points you can move on the x-axis and moved on the y-axis and know the value of the point. Here, if you want to determine two other points, you move on the x-axis, which is 2 units, and you move up 2 units also, or 3 units. So this point is on the line. Other point also, you move here -2 units on the x-axis and up 1 unit on the y-axis. So the two other points on the line, -2 and 1 and 2 and 3 point. The distance formula in the plane. Usually you want or you need or you wish to calculate the distance between 2 points on the plane. We have the formula, which is equal the square root is difference between the x values of the 2 points squared plus the difference between the y values of the 2 points squared. This is the distance between A and B, which is the by Pythagorean theorem. You can get this equation. For example, if you want to calculate the distance between the 2 points A, -2 and 5, and B, 4 and 8. It doesn't matter if you start with x1 or x2 because the difference will be squared, so it will not differ if you start with x1 or x2 in the first in the bracket here. Here we have x minus x2 is 4 minus -2 or -2 squared plus 8 and minus a5 squared, which is square root of 45, 3 square root of a5. This is the distance between in centimeters or meter as the units you use in this problem. In many cases, you sometimes need to get the coordinates of the midpoint between 2 points. For example, you have point 1, x1, y1, and point 2, x2, y2. You need to get the midpoint between these 2 points. The equation is you add x1 plus x2 divided by 2. This is the x value of the midpoint, and the y value of the midpoint is y1 plus y2 over 2. For example, if you want to calculate the midpoint between A and B, the same values, you add x1 plus x2, -2 plus 4 divided by 2, and 5 plus 8 divided by 2. The midpoint coordinates are 1 and 6.5 value. This is the midpoint formula for between 2 points. The point slope formula for line. In many cases, the line given to you is given by the slope and 1 point on, and you want to get the formula of this line. The slope is, which is m, is the tangent angle inclined between the line and the positive x direction, x-axis direction. Here we have m is the slope, which is the angle subtended between the line itself and the positive direction of the x-axis. Tangent of the angle subtended by the line itself and the positive direction of the x-axis. This equation is the point to slope formula. Y is the general point and x is the x-axis of the general point on the line. Y naught and x naught are the coordinates of a specific point on the line, which is given to you, and m is the slope of the line. So this equation satisfies any other point on the line. If you substitute with any other point, you have to get the left-right equals the right side. To find the equation of the line denoted by L, passing through points A and B, A is x1, y1, B is x2, y2. Find the slope of the line segment AB, denoted by M as follows. M is, we get M by the slope, differentiate or subtract the y values divided by the difference of the x values. These are the slope M. The slope M, you can get M as a value. The value of the M can be obtained by subtracting the y values over subtracting of the x values. It means that M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You can get M also as y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. If you start with y2, you start on the denominator by x2. If you start the numerator by y1, you must start the denominator by x1. The equation of the line is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. The value of m itself can be obtained by subtracting the y2 minus y1 divided by x2 by minus x1. This is the value of the m itself. Note, if the slope m is positive or negative, this means that x runs along the x-axis, then y will right. For the positive value of m, it means increasing function, increasing line. It goes in this direction. You can get a line like this one. It means by increasing the value of x, the y value also increases. This is a positive slope. The angle between the line and this is the line. This is the line, and this is the positive x direction. This is the x-axis, and this is the angle theta or phi or any angle. The tangent of this angle is the slope. And you can get its value by dividing the y value, this is the y, divided by x. Y and x. This is the y value and x. To get the y, you subtract the value, the values of y in both points, and divide by x values of difference of x values between the 2 points also. For example, again, if the slope is negative, means that x is when x is increasing, the y value decreasing, like this one. By increasing the x value, the y value decreases. This is a negative slope. For example, if you get a equal 1 and 2 and b 3 and 3. Find the slope of the line segment AB. The slope is given by the difference of the y values divided by the difference of the x values. If you start with y2, you have to start with x2 here. If you start with y1, you have to start here with x1. It doesn't matter if you use this or the other notations. Here, y2 is 3, y1 is 2, 3 negative 2, divided by x, 3, and minus 1, equals half. This is the m. I'm sorry, the internet was disconnected while I was recording the lecture. We are going to complete or resume our lecture. The slope is half, as you said, that you can calculate the slope from any two known points on the line by subtracting the y values of the 2 points divided by the x values of the same 2 points. We get it here, m equals half. The equation of the line passing through 1 and 2 is the equation equals y minus y naught equals m times x minus x naught. Y naught and x naught, you can use any point, known point on the line, either A or B, as you wish. It will give the same equation. Here, y minus 2 equals half x minus 1, which is a point A. Gives you y equals 3 halves plus half x. If you want to test whether the point 5 and 2 lies on the line or not, we substitute with x or y and get the other value and check if it is the same or not. For example, here y equals 3 halves plus half x. We substitute with x equals 5. And then y equals 4, but we have y equals 2. So this point doesn't lie on the line, because we get the left side must be equal to the right side. So here y equals 4, but not 2. Okay. The slope-intercept formula of a line. An intercept is the intersection or the part of the intersection of the line with the y-axis. This value is the intercept or the intersection of the line with the y value. This value is the intercept between the line and the y axis. The line is given by y equals, or the equation of the line in this formula is given by y equals mx times plus c. From the previous formula, which is y minus y naught